Hey all, Trevor here with Red Leaf, and today we're going to be diving into our weekly wrap-up for this past week. We had a couple of really interesting reviews. We had a really strong concentrate review, a good Garage Sesh, as well as a introduction to our protocol grow for us to all spend a little bit of time wrapping up. But first, we have our intro to slide in here.
Sit down.
Hey all, and welcome back. Like I said, we're going to be diving into the past week's worth of information that we covered, as well as hyping up next week's worth of reviews and just additional content that we have coming for you guys. But we're starting out with this past week. So first things first, we had the Orion by Flint and Ember's one-hitter weed review. That was going to be a white berry strain. So that's a white widow and a blueberry cross, I believe. And honestly, you guys, I was not impressed with this Orion. It still was surprisingly the best scoring strain out of the week, but it wasn't a very enjoyable smoke from either myself or Kelton's experience when we got into the Garage Sesh on Saturday. It burnt relatively evenly. It was burning relatively consistent, but the flavor was lackadaisical, and the effect just wasn't quite as intense as I would have liked it to have been. But it still was able to score a 9 out of a 10. There was something there that piqued my interest enough to give it a good score for the high. Still, with everything else, the flavor, the overall experience just wasn't there for me to really be able to dive into and enjoy, you guys, which personally is a little bit disappointing. Then, on Tuesday, because we have had a little bit of issues with the Warzone game, I've had to delete it and reinstall it this past week, so we weren't able to hop onto a Warzone live stream this past Tuesday, but we did get one in at least on Thursday and Friday for you guys on the YouTube channel, so that was definitely worthwhile. However, on Tuesday we had a combo live stream of some Cold War and some Knockout City from EA, and honestly I was quite impressed with that Knockout City. This past Friday I dove into some Borderlands 3 for a little bit of a campaign play on the Twitch account, and if you guys want to check that out, it's Twitch at Red of the Leaf for sure. Definitely go and check that channel out if you guys want to see more gaming content, a little bit more variety in the games that I play. We're going to get more content on there, and then I will end up clipping up those videos a little bit and giving you guys short abridged versions on the Right of Leaf Gaming YouTube page, because I've got to try and get everything up and rocking and all systems flowing forward for you guys, so that we can get as much content out there for you to enjoy. Now, with that being said, that kind of wraps up our gaming and our Tuesday hub of content. And then on Wednesday, we did our intro to the protocol grow that I have coming, with a little sneak peek at the tents. This intro to the protocol grow broke down all of the general points that are going to be the key components in this protocol grow that we have coming, and I'll quickly cover it for you guys right now. So it is going to be a 24 plant autoflower 1 gallon grow. There will be 7 unique strains within those 24 plants. We are going to be running with 2 different mediums. One's going to be a home blend and the other one's going to be a living soil mix. Starting out with the Guy Green's living soil. And then we will also have 2 different sugar watering methods. So every week I sugar water my plants. We will have one half of the plants receiving molasses and the other half receiving maple syrup. So I'm interested to see how those compare. The rest of the grow is going to be the same. So the environment, the way that I feed it, the way that I water it, when, how, all of those things will be the exact same. There's no variance on that point. It's just the starting factors and the sugar grows throughout. There are the sugar waters throughout. That's going to be our variance, you guys. We are going to utilize tape on the handles to identify the 2 differences Red tape is going to identify our home blend, where silver tape is going to be the identifier for our living soil. Wasn't able to find a blue or a purple this time around, so we're going to use silver. And then we will have 2 handles, both the handles taped if it is going to be receiving maple syrup, and 1 handle taped if it's going to be receiving molasses. So that's going to be the biggest difference between those two, how we're going to identify it, and those are kind of the major components. One last thing is, if a seed does not germinate in this protocol grow, we just yank that out of the grow and we don't worry about it. If it ends up germinating and then dying off early off in the grow, we do the exact same thing. We just pull it out and we don't include any of its information for it, because it could be genetics, it could be the soil, it could be an overwatering. There's lots of reasons why it's not going to work, so we're not going to try and keep track of it when we're aiming to compare yield from the living soil medium for my home blend, as well as flavor comparison with that, with the maple syrup and the molasses playing a factor as well. Very interested in seeing how those two are going to do, and I'm definitely looking forward to the overall experience that these buds are going to have to offer in about 4 to 6 months' time, depending on when we get them started. Next, this week, we dove into the Up in the Sky wax from the folks over at Broken Coast. I really, really enjoyed the product that they have to put out. The overall concentrate and wax game has not been something that I've seen a lot of the higher grade producers pop up yet. I'm starting to see a lot of it show up on social media and Instagram, specifically for them creating products, or they're just starting to release the products. But Broken Coast is the first time that I've been able to grab a truly individual LP that has been a high quality, consistent flower producer, in my opinion, from day one of them being on the market. The other companies like that would be Quest. There's an Apricot Kush Sugar that I'm interested in trying, and I do have that set aside. We won't be trying that this week, but the week after. Simply Bare looks like they've got some stuff coming out. I do enjoy Stigma Grow's products, but they did come to market with the intention of concentrates right away, and when they came to market changes a little bit of my base, because I'm looking at the LPs that were on the market for quite a lengthy period of time prior to the concentrates popping up. And this is, again, just in my experience and my exposure to these products at that beginning stage in the market. But now let's dive into that Up in the Sky wax from Broken Coast, you guys. This is a hybrid based wax that comes in with a THC total of the 73.6%. It hits way heavier than that THC percentage signifies or covers, you guys. It is a really rich, intense, and potent concentrate. It's one of those few concentrates that I find the initial dab, like the initial high that I get off of it, is the same experience that I have if I'm diving into a half a gram or a full gram of it. And I'm a big fan of concentrates like that for just one-off experiences, getting a good little buzz going, just enjoying that experience without needing to use a large amount of the concentrate to get there. There are some strains that I find I need to use a lot more of that concentrate to get to that intensity. This one, I'm finding even later on into the week, it's still got that nice one-punch pack where it hits with the same intensity with the first dab as it does at the third, and it doesn't really stack up to be a truly unique and intense experience when you go to repeat smoke this Up in the Sky wax from Broken Coast, you guys. Still, really enjoyable. The flavor's incredible on it, and I just wish that you'd be able to stack up that high a little bit more for a really, truly intense experience, but it's not quite there. Now, with that being said, and talking about not quite being there, the Critical 2.0 from Benchmark. We're not going to stick around long on this one, you guys. I was thoroughly unimpressed with how this flower ended up doing. It was really disappointing. The high's the best thing that you can take from it, and it's not even that memorable. It gives you just a super light and easy body blend. It's something that I'm going to smoke while I'm playing video games and just try and get rid of it that way. And almost when I'm not thinking about it, just smoking for the point of smoking. And that's kind of where that Critical 2.0 falls into. And as some of you guys said on the comments, when they sent their benchmark low enough, it's hard not to pass it. And Darren, I appreciate that comment. I definitely do. Now, the Garage Sesh Stash Sesh. If you guys haven't checked that one out, you definitely should. Me and Kelton had an absolute riot on there. We had a good bake going as well. When you get to the end, you could just see we were both feeling quite a heavy high coming off of the combination of the 5 bowls and 2 dabs that ended up being smoked in that live stream by each of us. So there's a lot of cannabis product being consumed, and a lot of jokes, a lot of stories being told, and just some overall opinions on this past month's worth of content, and exposing Kelton to all the strains that he has not had a opportunity to try and smoke yet. And it's always fun when we get a chance to do that and get him a little bit high off of his rocker. But that was last week's worth of content, you guys, and it was a good time. We had a decent amount of content in there. We're definitely kicking up more live streams. We surpassed 700 subs, which is a huge milestone, and I really want to appreciate and thank each and every one of you guys for helping us make it there. Not only have we hit 700, we're flying past it, and at the point of recording this, we were at 711, which is absolutely hilarious. And I really can't thank you guys enough, and the fact that we're on that road to 1K is crazy. So let's keep on grinding and getting our way up towards that level for subs, because that's a huge milestone. Now, with that being said, we're going to get there with some of next week's worth of content. So with our reviews next week, we're going to be having a little bit of a joint venture cannabis face-off. They're a craft cannabis LP that helps bring smaller companies to market. So they will be the same LP for both of these strains, but it'll be different producers, different craft growers for each unique strain, which is awesome. I'm really looking forward into this week of craft cannabis is essentially what it's going to be. So first things first, we have the J Buds Chim Mints 3.5 gram review. I'm really excited to dive into that. That is going to be a lineage of the Gorilla Glue and the Guinness based strain. So I'm really excited to see how that one's going to do. And the green container, the green tin that these guys put it in is actually quite appealing to me, because that military khaki kind of green, I don't know what it is, but it definitely gets my attention. And then on Tuesday, we're going to have a stacked up live stream again, you guys. First in the morning and then in the afternoon, like it should be. We're going to start things off with a little bit of Cold War, I'm thinking, and then play some Warzone in the evening with Kelton and some more of the boys. And if you guys want to join up, definitely let me know down below, because we can get you playing in any of the live streams that we have going. And then on Wednesday, we'll be having our grow update, kind of the final grow update with what we have going on right now before we start making some big changes and getting this protocol grow on its way. And once that gets going, it'll be quite a change to the way we do our grow updates, I think, because we'll be separating our protocol grow with the in-depth updates from our just weekly flyby updates. And I'll let you guys know about that when we're going through and actually sorting those videos out themselves. Now, on Thursday, we have the Banana Kush 1 gram cartridge from Good Supply. I had somebody reach out in the comments and say that it was absolutely delicious. I'm really intrigued about it. I'm a huge fan of like a banana flavor, even that's kind of synthetic banana flavor. I'm not too turned away from that experience. I actually enjoy it a little bit. So I'm interested to see how this Banana Kush cartridge ends up tasting. But that's before we wrap up this week's craft cannabis review with the Rainbow Driver from the folks over at Black Kettle. There we go. We got the Black Kettle Rainbow Driver here. They did a black jar, and I'm really interested to see how that Rainbow Driver's going to taste and hit, because that's supposed to be a really nice rare exotic, and I'm quite impressed with the price point and the THC and terp percentage that these guys have on both this container and the other J Buds Chip Mints. Really looking forward to diving into both of them and seeing what they have to offer. Now, Saturday's video is yet to be determined. I'm not quite sure what we got coming this Saturday. Really depends on if we get some packages in and what Kelton's got going on this week, and just kind of what ends up going on in the next couple of days. We'll have it figured out, and we'll definitely start promoting it for you guys as soon as I know. But until then, we're going to keep it a surprise. For the time being, though, we are going to wrap this one up. I hope you guys enjoyed. We'll be back next week with another one of these, or tomorrow with that Chip Mints one-hitter weed review from J Buds and the Venture Craft Cannabis crew. I'm really looking forward to seeing how that strain has to do and how it's going to hold up on our one-hitter weed review herbage scale, you guys. But for the time being, let's wrap this one up, and I'll see you in the next one. Now, when the end card slides in, hover over that logo, click that bell notification after you subscribe so that you get notified anytime one of these videos go live. You're going to be one of the first 1K on the channel, so I definitely appreciate it if you can click that subscribe button if you haven't already. But down below, one will be the most recommended for you, the other one will be the most recently uploaded. Please click on either of those or anything else that I have to offer under the Red Leaf brand. But for the time being, you guys, cheers y'all, and I will see you tomorrow with that Chip Mints review from J Buds.